Spotify is giving users a look back at the year that was, at least in music. The service rolled out a series of features this week, including its annual wrap-up of the most streamed music. Now, the announcement actually helped Spotify share sort of new record highs on Wednesday, and we have Bloomberg Quick Take reporter Jennifer Zabasaja here in the studio to tell us more. Jen, what is behind the boost that we saw in this new all-time high?
Yeah, I mean, Spotify is having a pretty good week, Tim. I mean, first off, according to Bloomberg Intelligence, the vaccine news, upbeat vaccine news, could be good for a company like Spotify, right? Because it signals that people might return to commuting at some point, which means they're going to be playing music in their ears. At least that's what I do when I'm commuting. But also, you know, Spotify had some individual announcements. So they announced that the Joe Rogan Experience would be available exclusively on Spotify. But then they also are experimenting and testing out a lot of new services. So they're experimenting with this Instagram-like story feature where you can hear different messages from artists. So that was one of the things that we saw from the company this week. It's only available right now with a holiday playlist, but they're probably going to roll that out a little bit more. But of course, the biggest news this week for the company is this wrapped end of the year playlist that they've come out with and just gotten more and more advanced as the years have gone on.
Okay, so I didn't share mine yet, but I want to know what you saw in your Spotify playlist. Who's up there?
Well, okay, so the biggest artist this year was Bad Bunny. He was the top streamed.
Okay,
artist.
But was he yours, Jen?
Tim, we're getting there. So he was the top streamed artist.
I can't take it.
Globally. And Billie Eilish was the most streamed female artist. The Weeknd, I also think, is really interesting. His song Blinding Lights was his top song. But The Weeknd, actually, a week ago was going off because he was pretty upset that he didn't get a Grammy nomination because of this song. And it's just done so well. But mine, because we're going to talk about
Okay, the moment we've all been waiting
for.
It
was really exciting, but not surprising at all to me, was Ariana Grande. She had a good year. She had a new album. And so I just think it's really interesting what they've rolled out with this wrapped feature. I mean, it's just gotten so intricate, the metrics that they're tracing. You know, you can quiz yourself on the artist and the number of minutes that you're spending listening to music, the genres that you're spending. Apparently, I listened to 329 genres this year. I don't know. But I don't know, Tim, have you realized just how advanced this has gotten?
Yeah, I have, and I jumped into it yesterday with mine and saw that my top artist for the year was Vampire Weekend, which wasn't that surprising to me. I did listen to a lot of Vampire Weekend this year. Yeah. But a couple things to keep in mind here, at least what I've observed, is just how shareable this is and how much people are sharing this on social media and how that is just so brilliant for Spotify. I mean, the sharing feature is built into this. It allows you just to share the story right on Instagram. I mean, are you seeing it all over your social too?
Totally. I mean, it's everywhere, right? And I think the interesting thing is that it's not only that people are sharing it, but it's also starting conversations, right? Because when you see your other friends are listening to certain artists or certain songs, you're like, oh, what's that? Like, maybe I'll listen to Vampire Weekend, Tim, because you said that. But also, you know, just Spotify has just gotten so interesting with the metrics that they're tracing and you know, just speaking directly to what people are talking about and listening to. And of course, music evokes emotions within us. And so when you have a year like 2020, I think it's just really fun to go back and see like what songs you were listening to and sort of what memories they evoke, especially in a year like 2020.
Jen, we only have a few seconds left, but how are other services competing with this? Because Spotify is getting all the mind share right now.
Yeah, so Spotify really still dominates the market, but just to let you know, there are still similar features like this offered on the other services. So YouTube Music, Tidal, and Apple Music also have similar year in review like lists. But I think, you know, what's really key here, Tim, and you mentioned this, is that Spotify has really sort of nailed this shareable feature and really sort of dominated the conversation. And so what's going to be key here is that we're seeing these music streaming services grow. Experts are expecting it's going to grow even more in the next few years. And so we're going to have to really watch how these other services catch up and improve what they're offering to us because we like talking about it, right?
Yeah, I could talk about Spotify forever, but Will's telling me we got to go. Bloomberg Quick Take reporter Jennifer Zabasaja, thanks as always for your time. We'll see you at noon as well.
The biggest stories the moment they happen from around the globe. Subscribe to Bloomberg Quick Take now for insight in an instant.